So, I guess nobody in the world has actually seen this movie, but if you've seen the trailer, you'd think that this is a contender for the top 10 worst movies of 2016 list, right? Not really. I've seen 10 movies worse than Monster Trucks this year. 10 movies worse than Monster Trucks. It's been a fucking terrible year, hasn't it? Anyway, so Monster Trucks follows Lucas Till, who I'm guessing just doesn't have a career now. It was like the studio execs were like, "Hey, you Lucas Till? Yep. You got killed off in X-Men, right? Yep. You want to be in a movie? I mean, the joke is that the monster lives in the truck and we call it Monster Trucks. Yep. And that's how it fucking went down. Lucas Till was like, hey, I'm fucked now. They killed off Havoc in X-Men. That was the only thing I had going for me. What do I do now? I guess I just star in Monster Trucks and just don't give a fuck the whole time and just sort of turn up for the paycheck, do the movie, and then leave again. And that was Monster Trucks. So, yeah, the movie follows him. I can't even remember what his character. I do know what his name is. His name's Trip, which works because this movie was a result of a drug trip, and they were like, "Hey, what do we call our character?" I'm tripping, man. That's a good name, Trip. So yeah, his name is Trip, and I believe he works at a junkyard. He's a high school student, but he looks way too fucking old to be a high school student. Anyway, he finds this truck, or he gets given this truck, and I'm pretty sure it was Danny Glover in this movie. What the fuck are you doing, Danny Glover? Anyway, so I'm pretty sure it was Danny Glover, and he gives him this truck, and he finds... It's on like an oil drilling thing, and there's a monster that lives in the oil because it eats oil, and there was no reason for any of the oil drilling shit to be in the movie, but the monster lives in the oil, and it climbs into his truck and lives in his truck and somehow survives in his truck, and he makes his truck work because his truck doesn't work. It's convoluted, man. But there's so much shit that happens in this movie, like, it keeps cutting back and forth. So Finch from American Pie is like the scientist who's studying this creature, and there's like two more creatures, and he's studying them and he's feeding them oil, and it's just like, it keeps cutting back from the monster truck with the monster in it, and the guy's trying to escape from the government, and he's with this girl who he treats like fucking shit throughout the movie, and it's really weird because she has a massive crush on him, and he's an arsehole to her in the beginning, then all of a sudden he's just like, actually, no, we're pretty good friends now, and it's like, there was no development there. Anyway, they're on a trip to get away from the government. Meanwhile, Finch from American Pie is trying to study this creature, and he's like, hey, these creatures aren't that bad, let's save them. And in the end, spoiler alert, I guess, they build some more monster trucks and save the monsters. But it was such a boring movie because they had the sort of chase sequences with the government and the monster, and it was like, fair enough, they're entertaining enough to watch, I guess, but they keep cutting to this weird, like, scientist, and he's doing science things with these creatures, and it's like, I thought this was a kids' movie, but you're doing all this sciencey stuff that they're not going to get, and I don't even get it, and I'm zoning out here, so I can't imagine kids really enjoying this movie all that much. But yeah, so they keep cutting between that, and it was like, I went into this movie expecting a movie with a CGI overblown monster living in a truck, and that's the joke. But there's more in the movie, but there didn't need to be, because the other stuff in the movie doesn't really make the greatest deal of sense all the time. Most of the time, in fact. So by having all of that stuff in the movie, it's just like you're dragging your movie down, and the movie already had nothing going for it anyway. So yeah, and it's a long setup as well. Like, the very first scene takes forever, it feels like. Rob Lowe is also in this movie, and they're scientists, and they're talking science stuff, and it's just like, did you think you were doing a different movie than this? Because you really don't look like you're in a movie about monster trucks or whatever. So yeah, it's weird to think about that sort of stuff. But in the end, Monster Trucks is a movie that didn't infuriate me. It wasn't like another Nine Lives, but it's one of those movies that it's for the kids, I guess. So when I come to my top 10 worst movies of the year, I'm not putting Monster Trucks on there purely because I know it's a kids' movie. And the thing is, with movies like Top Cat Begins and I guess not really Nine Lives. What's it? What was that other movie? The other kids movie that Ice Age Collision Course. That's it. The one that nobody fucking saw either. I'm guessing that tanked. Ice Age can't still be making money, right? If we get an Ice Age 6, I will probably give up faith on, the whole cinema industry. But anyway, what I'm saying is this movie was purely made with kids in mind. There isn't any of those weird innuendos that you get in the other movies. So for that, I'm judging it purely on a kids movie, and by judging it on a kids movie, it's still bad, and it still has those things that kids just aren't going to get. It's going to go over their heads, and that's all the sciencey crap. But judging it on a kids movie, it doesn't rank in the top 10 worst movies. I've seen 10 movies worse than this, and I have one more movie to see today. I'm going to see Collateral Beauty today, which is why I haven't made that list yet. Because I want to see Collateral Beauty. I've heard things about it, like terrible things about it, about mismarketing, and I've seen the trailer, and I've heard the movie's very different from the trailer, so I'm genuinely intrigued. I genuinely want to go and watch Collateral Beauty. I was just going to see Rogue One again, but I'll see a new movie, and that brings me to 140 films this year, which is pretty awesome in my book, but I'm going to see Collateral Beauty, then make that top 10 worst list. But as it stands, Monster Truck's not on there, and I guess that's a good achievement. Well done, Monster Trucks. You weren't as terrible as 10 other movies this year, but you were still fucking bad. So yeah, if you're planning to see Monster Trucks, I'd say probably don't take your kids to see something better. Lucas Till doesn't give a crap the whole time. Every other actor in this movie, especially Finch from American Pie, he doesn't want to be there. You can tell he doesn't want to be there. He's like, American Pie's a dead franchise. No, I guess I'll go for the money. So yeah, I'd say this isn't a movie worth watching, but if you have kids, then they might just enjoy the stuff that isn't boring, all the car chases and the monsters. I mean, the monster's cute enough, but it's a movie we've seen the plot for before. The only thing that makes this movie different from other movies is the fact that there is a monster truck involved. It's the same, I found a monster, I want to get him home to his family. It's that stuff you've seen. It's exactly what you've seen in films like, I guess, E.T. and there's many more movies like it. But I guess the monster's cute enough and kids will like him. So yeah, I guess that's all I've really got to say. The CGI is fine, I guess. It's boring, it's predictable, but I guess if you want your brain to melt out of your nose for an hour and a half, Monster Trucks is your thing. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you all had a good Christmas and a Happy New Year to everyone. I will make that top 10 worst and best video as soon as I have seen every movie I want to see, which is only one more movie. So top 10 best list is done, and I can't wait to talk about those. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all very soon.